Well, welcome to the Church Explained podcast, a conversation to grow your leadership and build your church. Good to have you here, Nathan.
It's good to be here, Dave. We've got no guests today.
We've got no guests for this episode today.
This episode, yes.
But this is a little bit different today. It's a short episode.
It is.
A few minutes long.
Yes, because we are in Easter week.
It is Easter week, so we want to wish all our listeners a happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everyone.
And we just thought we'd get a couple of questions going today, just between us.
Yeah.
But it's a short episode, but we've got some great episodes coming up, haven't we?
Yes, we have. And you can keep looking out for those. Every single Friday, we're releasing episodes, and so you can look at that. But the week after Easter, there'll be no episode.
No.
I'm right in saying that?
That's correct,
That's correct.
So the next...
But
that's true.
So after this one, there's not one next week, but one the week after. We're back.
That. But I thought it'd be good for us to start off thinking about, to remind our listeners of the why behind the what.
Yeah. Well, our hope and our kind of vision for the podcast is just, simply we want to build churches and equip leaders with resources, tools, ideas, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And we always say it in the intro of the Church Explained podcast that we want to give away things that actually will help church leaders, not only in building the church, but also in their personal lives as well.
Yeah, and I think we've done that with many of the guests we've had on.
Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be good for us just to think of one of our highlights over the last season that we're still in.
Yeah.
We're still in season 3.
We are.
And since January. Let's go from January. What's been your highlight?
So I actually loved when we did the episode with Steve and Rachel Morstan.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because we did it at our staff retreat, and it was the whole idea of getting behind the scenes.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, really, of a staff retreat, and what that looked like, but then also I think just the impact that staff retreat had on us as Icon Church, definitely,
was huge in terms of us as a staff team.
Yeah,
that it just became a highlight for me, and so when I was looking back through the podcast episodes, I just remember the conversations that we had, and then also the ability to bring people behind the scenes. Yeah.
Now that was a great one, and for maybe people who haven't listened to that one, because that's only fresh out. That was only, although we recorded it a little while back, it only hit the scene last week.
It did.
So maybe people need to go and listen to the whole thing.
Yes. What about yours, Dave?
Well, my favourite one was actually with our lead pastor, Paul Benger. Paul heads up the church, of course, but we done a behind the scenes with him as well. And on that one, we talked around this idea of who's next, like thinking about, raising up leaders at different age groups, different backgrounds, always asking the question within our context and our culture, like who is next?
Yeah.
We've had some great feedback from that. A number of people chatted to me.
Amazing.
Helped them think through that. Maybe they were thinking it through for their organisation, but also for their church.
Yeah.
So that for me, that was a good one. Just to think of that again. And I think the reason why is because lots of churches aren't thinking who's next.
Yeah.
They're thinking of what's next.
Yeah.
They're thinking about program. They're thinking about activity.
Yeah.
But the reality is you can't have sustainable programs without who's next.
Yeah. And that kind of leads me on in terms of a lot of churches. We end up thinking program and what we're going to do.
Yeah.
What program are we going to run next, or what resource are we going to use next?
Yeah.
Well, we got a whole load of resources that we hope that will help you on Icon Open, and even today in our staff meeting today, we had a great story from a lady who used to be part of Icon Church, has moved to another church. They're starting kids ministry, starting youth, and they're using the resources that we've been able to provide. And so we just love stories like that, and love being able to resource the church. And so when you're asking the question, who's next, and you think, well, I haven't got time to ask the question, who's next, because I've got all this planning to do. Hopefully the resources on Icon Open can help people out.
It's true. For people who don't know what Icon Open is, let me just say something about that. It's a resource space we have on our website, icon.church/resources.
For now, /open.
/open and resources. It's in there as well.
Oh, is it?
It's in there both. Okay, so you can get to it in both places. I almost forgot what church it was in. But So that's a great set of resources, and hundreds and hundreds of resources on there, free for churches to download. Stuff on messages, stuff on creative and worship, stuff, as you've mentioned, on kids and youth, and then some other general stuff we have there as well, and leadership stuff. Lots of leadership content that people can download, use, that is spark an idea. Now, the great thing about Icon, we've been running it since 2021, I think it would have been. Is that right?
Yeah, I can't remember.
So we've got a global audience. We've got people downloading from all over the world. There's not a continent where people aren't downloading from.
Was it Easter 2021?
It was.
So it's 2 years this year.
2 years.
2 years this year.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's 3 years, isn't it?
No. 2021 to 2023, Dave, is it 2 years.
Was it 2021 or 2020? I can't remember. It can't be 2020.
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
So 2 years.
Yeah.
And actually we've got thousands of people hitting that site every month.
What are the top 3 countries?
Top 3 countries still at the minute is, over the last 30 days.
Yeah, okay.
Over the last 30 days, we have, of course, the UK.
Big shout out to the UK, massive.
UK, we love you guys. USA. I'm surprised at that. I thought actually it would have been somewhere else, but USA. And the third one is the Philippines.
Wow.
So people downloading and using the resources. Hey, thank you for using those resources. We hope they're blessing you. But as you said, we get great stories like that all the time.
Yeah.
People emailing in or saying, hey, thanks for sharing the resources. They're really helping us.
Yeah, and let me encourage you, if you are using those resources and they are helpful, let us know. And also, if there's something that maybe we're missing and you think, do they have anything on that? Ask us. Ask us the question, because who knows? We might have something that we've not been able to put up yet, or we've not, formatted, or whatever it might be that actually would be a help to you. So, yeah.
So I want to push us back a little bit to the first question, the why behind the what.
Yes.
You've answered in one sense, but I want to go a little bit deeper to say the reason we do what we do with the podcast, with Icon Open, and of course our leadership coaching, is it's to show our generosity to the wider church.
Yeah.
Because that's part of our values as Icon Church. One of our values is
generous.
To be generous.
Yep.
And we felt really that how can we do that, not just internally, but how can we show our generosity to the wider church? And that led us to create these things like the podcast, the resources, and of course the coaching.
Yeah, and we have great prices to support church leaders in coaching. So you can get 10 sessions for £600. I nearly said £60 then, and Dave nearly
fell off my seat.
Yeah,
but £600 cheap for 10 sessions.
It is.
If that was out down the global setting, the big wider market. We've reduced that right down for church leaders.
And personally, I've had coaching sessions and continue to have coaching sessions, and they're just great to help you begin to think on a next level. I would say it helps do that. It helps you process things as well, and it just leads you to even solutions to some of the problems and issues that you may be facing. That actually it feels like, I want to encourage someone. You might feel like, I feel like I'm stuck. Yeah. Well, coaching could be kind of the thing that brings a breakthrough for you. Yeah, and we would say that lots of leaders really, get a coach, because coaching really does help. I mean, we're working with churches and leaders from all over the place with the coaching. And churches of all sizes. Of all sizes, some really big ones, which we don't want to mention their names because we haven't asked for their permission. But some very big ones, and of course some mid-sized ones and some smaller ones. So it doesn't matter what size it is. Exactly. Because everyone's got to think through stuff and process stuff. So we want, again, to show our generosity. And I've said that I'd be happy to give 3 coaching sessions to somebody. And what was the deal we said? So the deal is you need to email Dave at icon.church, and you just need to send in your highlight of the podcast. So what has been your highlight of the podcast? What's an episode that's spoken to you? What have you loved? It might just be something, out there that you just love listening to. Just send that through to Dave, D-A-V-E, at icon.church. And if you can't spell church, Google it. We're in trouble. So we will give somebody, I think what we've said is the first
10 people, we'll pick somebody.
Yes.
There could be more than people who'll send in a review. We hope you do, because the podcast we think's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's why we keep doing it.
That's it.
So we'll pick somebody out of the first 10, and they'll get 3 full sessions, coaching sessions, no strings attached.
No.
You know, they don't have to sign up afterwards.
No.
We just want to bless a leader. It doesn't matter where you're from. As long as we can reach you by Zoom or internet, then we will make that happen for you.
Yep. Which
pretty
is amazing.
All right, isn't it?
Yep. And we want to bless people.
We want to bless people.
And this Easter, we want to bless people. Yeah. And so we just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's listened. Also to all of our guests who have contributed. And we're believing for a great Easter across churches all over the world. And so we want to kind of give an Easter blessing to you and a prayer. And so, Dave, would you lead us in that?
I'm happy to
pass that on.
Yeah, have us a good delegation there. Yeah, come on. We do want to do that. We don't often do this, but actually we do want to pray.
Yeah.
We want to pray for every leader who's connected with us, and maybe leaders who are just going to pick this up, and we want to speak God's blessing over their lives. So let's do that. God, we thank you that you have plans and purposes for our lives. And we want to declare, oh God, today, your goodness into the lives of those people who are listening today, those who've got Easter services coming up, whether it's Good Friday or Easter Sunday. We want to speak, God, your blessing over all that you're going to do. Thank you for every leader, everyone who's a part of Icon Open Community. And we just want to declare, oh God, your goodness and your salvation, oh God, into people's lives across this Easter. Amen.
Amen. So we want to thank you for listening to the Church Explained podcast. And don't forget, our next episode will be live on Friday, the 21st of April. So we look forward to being together then.